Hi everybody, it's Kirsty from Lifting Consciousness here on Sunday the 8th of November. I hope you're doing really well wherever you are in the world, and I thought I'd just record this message as a Sunday spiritual session on Remembrance Sunday. Obviously today it's a day that we do come together to remember those who have been lost to battle, and actually from their bravery and their courage have enabled us to really live our lives in the way we are now. And it's a time to give thanks and gratitude for all of that. And also I like to remember on this day people that I've lost that I've been close to and have played a big part in my life, and certainly my late grandfather. Tomorrow is the anniversary of his passing, and I like to use Remembrance Sunday and also Remembrance Day, which is on Wednesday, to really remember him as well, because he was like a soldier to me and a guiding light to me. But also this year I lost a great aunt who was the very epitome of love and unconditional love at that, love and kindness. And so I chose to actually take a moment to remember both my grandfather and my great aunt today in the 2-minute silence, and will again on Wednesday, because both of them have taught me a lot over the course of my life of kindness, love and bravery. So I'm sure you can all resonate with that, and you can take a moment to also remember those that have passed, who have been special to you, who have taught you things, as well as remembering on a greater scale those soldiers that have obviously been brave and courageous and given their life for the cause and for our country, and obviously around the world as well in terms of peace. And talking about peace, I was given a visual before doing this recording, and it was that of a dove. So I thought I'd wear white to honour the dove. But the dove is obviously representative of peace, and what we want is peace. We don't want war, we don't want fighting and conflict. So peace is very important in our lives. It's something that we all desire and we all strive for. And when we find that inner peace, that can kind of emit out. We can resonate with that, and that can actually emit from our very beings to spread that peace and that love, because what we feel inside creates our external reality. So if we want peace in the world, now's the time to really take stock of the peace within ourselves, and to make sure that we are comfortable with who we are, and just step forward in knowing that we are divine beings and we are all part of creation, and it's just magical. So I just wanted to take a moment to say that, because it felt very important. And I also feel that the dove is symbolic of divinity and purity, because of it being white and because of it being the bird of peace, the symbol of peace and hope. And that divinity runs through all of us, and it really is something, and certainly with the pure nature of the dove. We've all probably gone through a lot of that purification process ourselves, certainly with the last full moon that we had last weekend, because that was very intense in terms of releasing stagnant energies that were holding us back. Stagnant energies we may have been holding on to that we weren't even aware of, but actually releasing and purging those for that purification process to take place, and then to transform into that new positive space for growth and evolution in our own souls. So my heart is with each and every one of you, and just to know that we're all doing exceptionally well on this journey of self-discovery. And I just wanted to take a moment to say that to you. So I hope you're all good. And I've taken some cards today. I've taken some tarot cards. I wanted 3 cards. Spirit's actually given me 5, so we'll go with the message what we have today, and then I'll take some oracle cards after as a final message to confirm everything. So we'll jump right in. I've got the cards here. So first of all, these two came out together. So we have, and this is the beautiful Lightseers Tarot deck. I absolutely love this deck because the artwork is just amazing. So we have the moon in reverse and we have the devil in reverse. So these came out together. Now the moon in reverse can represent fear. In the upright it can represent sort of illusion. But there might still have been some fear that we've been holding on to. And actually the devil in reverse, having this one come out alongside it, this is quite positive, because in reverse we're freeing ourselves from those addictions, those self-limiting bondages to things, for example. And it doesn't have to be addictions in what we would usually think. It could be that there's this self-limiting thought pattern that we've been kind of trapped in, and that's been holding us back. So that devil energy has been holding us back. But actually, it would imply that we're coming out of that. So any fears that we've been having because of that, we are now coming out of. And I think that is also representative of the full moon energies, of that release that we've been going through, in that purification, to move away from that devil energy and to actually step into something that's more pure. So those were the first two cards that came out. And also I see this green as well that's across the two, so the heart chakra. So there may have been something relating to matters of the heart. It could be connections, soul connections, relationships, things that we've had to really look at over the past few weeks, and determine if they're actually for our highest good. So I see that's positive because we're coming out of that energy. We're freeing ourselves from those chains that we may have even been using to chain ourselves to something, and setting us free of that fear and that illusion aspect. Then we have another reversal. We have the Ace of Swords. And there are a couple of cards that came out with swords energy. So that's more heavy on the thoughts and communication. So there could be something that we need to look at in terms of our thoughts and communication this week, certainly. But the Ace of Swords, there isn't that sort of clarity in terms of thinking and moving towards new, fresh ideas and thoughts. This would give a sense of stagnancy, really. In the upright, it's this beautiful spiral staircase almost representing, and we've had the light shining out from the mind. So again, with that representation of the thoughts. But in the reverse, it would appear that there's a stagnancy to that, and that could be something that we're still working through as we are transmuting these energies and releasing. So not to be too hard on ourselves if we are feeling a bit stagnant, but what do we need to do to move forward? It's a process, and we can't rush ourselves. We are all on our own timelines. We're all on our own journeys. So don't feel pressured to come out of this, but it's looking at ways how we can actually remove ourselves from any stagnancy, in terms of any stagnant thought patterns that might be trapping our thoughts. Or maybe we feel that we are limited in terms of our communications. Maybe we feel we're holding ourselves back from communicating, whereas actually communicating our truth could actually set us free in many ways. And that certainly is the case when we honour our authenticity and we really uphold our values, and we're speaking our truth from our heart, from our soul. This is the truth that relates to me. Then that is the most authentic we can be, and actually that can free ourselves from this stagnant feeling, because we're not sticking ourselves to the way that we believe we should be thinking or the way we should be acting. So there is something in that about actually being truthful to yourself and honouring that, but expressing it to other people, not to cause conflict, because again, the overriding theme is that of peace, but being at peace with yourself, because when we're holding things in, we're not at peace with ourselves. If we really feel like we need to express something, it's important to do so. So I believe this card, and feel this card, is actually telling us that, to shine the light from ourselves out. This is my truth, and I'm not afraid to say it. So be confident in your truth this week. And we have another two cards that came out together. Another one, which is a major arcana card. Absolutely stunning colours. My favourite colours. The blend of the purples and the pinks there, just amazing. And it just gives me so much energy just looking at this card. It's absolutely fantastic. But we have the Nine of Swords in reverse with it. And the Nine of Swords in the upright can be that feeling of anxiety. And there may be a sense of we're coming out of that. So by speaking our truth, and actually moving away from the Ace of Swords in reverse, we can then free ourselves of any anxiety, because we're being truthful. So we're not holding anything in, and therefore we're not creating that anxiety within ourselves. So allowing us to do that, and allowing ourselves to do that, can then bring us that renewed hope and the fresh opportunities, because we're being truthful, we're actually communicating what we want and what we desire, and that's going to open up opportunities because we are speaking from our heart and soul. We're not speaking what someone else feels should be right for us or what we believe people would expect of us. We're actually speaking the truth. And again, that light, and if we look at the light on the Ace of Swords, you know, when we think the shining light there from the mind and the thoughts, and then that's creating that marvellous opportunity and that renewed sense of hope with the star cards, that's really positive to get, and that's in the upright position and moving away ultimately from the stagnancy and moving away from the anxiety of trapping ourselves in our own thoughts. So overriding message I would feel from that is to speak our truth this week and to honour our truth, to honour our purity, to honour our divine self, and to really communicate that out where we need to. And it might just be a case of, you know, this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to get there. I know what I want to do in my heart, in my soul, and this is how I'm going to approach it. Even if you're putting a strategic plan in place, because there might be limitations on what you can do at the moment because of the world we're in and what's going on. However, we can still move forward with our intentions, because it's when we're holding on to those intentions and feeling trapped and we can't do anything about it, and that then creates the anxiety because we know inside we want to do it, but we're not expressing our truth in terms of, right, this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to get there. So I hope that makes sense, and it'll resonate with some of you, not all of you. It is a collective reading based on collective energies, so use your discernment as always with these readings and guidance. It could be somebody's story out there, it might not be yours. So really take it if it resonates and leave what doesn't. But in view of that, I'm going to just take a card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck, and let's see what advice and guidance we have from Spirit. And it seems like we have one there. Oh, yeah, amazing. I actually love this card because I'm a Pisces. So it's great because we have the 2 dolphins, and look at that, happiness. And that also, to me, I mean, we've got the blue sky, we've got the sun shining bright, it's very colourful, it's very bright, it's very positive. We've got the 2 dolphins in sync there, and again, beautiful colours on the bottom there, which I'm drawn to personally. But you know, they're in sync, and they are riding the wave, aren't they? They are going with the wave of life, and they're moving forward. So that's very positive. So I think that's a good sign in terms of speaking our truth and expressing our truth, even if it's only to ourselves. But if we're being honest with ourselves in terms of what we want to do, that's part of the battle, really. And you know, that can set us free in numerous ways. And I do think, and I keep coming back to that image of the dove. The dove is just so symbolic of that purity and peace and hope. And we have that confirmation of the hope here, you know, so it does kind of filter through into the cards. And birds also represent that sense of freedom, and they're not afraid to take the leap because they know they can fly. They don't question it. They just go for it. I've actually, in honour of my late grandfather, I've got 2 swallows tattooed on my back, so he will always be with me in that respect because he was in the Navy and he had them on his hands. So I chose to do that as a mark of respect, but also to keep him with me always, and he is anyway, but that's just something that reminds me of that sense of freedom, that bravery and that love, and you know, to carry me forward in terms of my journey. So happiness is amazing, and I'm going to get one more because that's just beautiful. So we'll see what else we have for the collective from Spirit, please. Let's see. What do the collective need to know for their highest good? That one came out there as well. Exactly what I've been saying. Exactly what I've been saying with the purification. So can't get much clearer than that. The purity, the purification that we've all been going through, the fact we've been releasing a lot of stagnant energies, we've been releasing a lot of what doesn't serve us, and that is no mean feat. So please commend yourself on that and feel good that you've been able to do that successfully. It is for your highest good. And look at this beautiful sunflower. I know certainly here in the Northern Hemisphere, I'm here in England, we're in autumn and we're heading into winter. So to see a sunflower anyway just brightens up the day. But to have that with the happiness, I mean, that purification leads to our happiness because we are releasing anything that doesn't serve us, and we're upholding our truth. So we are upholding our values of what is true to us for our highest good. And such a positive outcome. Really, really brilliant. A final card from the universe has your back deck, which was the very first deck I got, actually. I love it. Good advice. So we'll see what advice we have for the collective. That one wanted to come out. Yeah. That one is something we all need to remember, really. There is a stream of love supporting my dreams. So again, upholding your truth, expressing your truth, coming out of that Ace of Swords energy. We freed ourselves from the bondage of the self-limiting thoughts. We can't do this, we can't do that. We're freeing ourselves from that. We're then finding our truth, we're upholding it, we're expressing it, we're moving out of the Ace of Swords energy. We're moving out of the Nine of Swords reverse energy of the anxiety, and we're getting that renewed hope. We're getting that renewed hope. We've been through the purification. Happiness is there awaiting us when we do uphold our values and we speak our truth. And perfect card, because the universe always supports us. You know, we have dreams, and we must realise that we are supported and guided, and every step we take is always a step forward, even if we have to learn difficult things along the way, even if there's obstacles. It's our journey to learn and to evolve, and it's all positive at the end of the day. We can look back and we can see the positive, we can see the learning, we can see that improved wisdom, but there is a stream of love supporting our dreams. So feel confident in expressing your truth, feel confident